Bukanlah.
Tak be yourself.
Just be yourself.
Is that a OnePlus or Oppo?
There is an Oppo.
Yeah.
There is an Oppo, the latest one lah. Semua orang nampak
The
iPhone lah.
Find
Betul.
X9 Pro.
Yes, dia macam kalau rupa macam iPhone. Tapi dia bukan. Tapi I think it's quite good lah. Gambar dia cantik.
Memang.
I mean if the same spec dekat iPhone saya rasa mau 8,000 lah pun. Kalau iPhone dia lain sikit dia punya harga.
iPhone dah cecah kan sampai
Weh,
kan?
dahsyat
I think
iPhone.
dah kan?
Latest sekali,
Yang latest tu dah 8,000 dah kan?
Dahsyat iPhone ni.
Bayar 4,000 pun dah.
Because you bayar for the brand.
Yeah, that's true. That's
This is the
true.
power of brand. Okay, thank you very much everyone. Welcome back. So we'll now go for module 2 lah.
Sure.
So I did mention about growth mindset and what is growth mindset. I mean you said that you heard about it before. Maybe just in simple non-technical terms. What is it? What is it? I mean in your understanding, based on your understanding.
So I mean, for me, growth mindset is more. It's more like, instead of thinking about how to get things done, it's about how to improve on getting things done. You know, to meld some personal aspects with professional aspects. As in, okay, how do I, for example, if we do the DISC, and say, okay, I'm lacking in the I part, for example, then my growth mindset should be, how do I address that? How do I reduce the negative consequences of not having that? Right. While growing within yourself, but also trying to help as a leader, the team grow. You know, in ways that cannot be measured on a metric.
Okay. I mean, more or less you're there. Anyone else wants to try? I mean, growth mindset. I mean, normally it's always either fixed mindset, we change it into a growth mindset. Fixed mindset, we try to avoid fixed mindset, because fixed mindset means that you just cannot change. You're not
Mind
changing.
block.
Your mind block. It's all a mindset thing lah. It's a mindset. Minda. I mean, you need. If you have a fixed mindset, it's going to be a big problem, because you're not going to change. You're still at your old ways. But the growth mindset is very important, not just for leaders. For everyone. But for leaders especially so. So basically growth mindset, and in a nutshell, basically, in a way, you would stay as what you are, in a way. Make it simple. For example, I'm not good at conflict, for example. For some people, they say they just give up. That's why they try to avoid conflict, because I'm not good at it. But for those who have a growth mindset, maybe this is a skill that I want to develop. Having a skill to basically have what you call that, to basically embrace conflict, because you cannot run away from conflict. So for a person who have a growth mindset, what can I do to ensure that I'm able to have this conflict management skill? This is for example. Alright. Or another simple example is like a fixed mindset. Let's say you have a vendor who's not supposed to, I mean, he's late. You just keep quiet. You say, tak kisahlah, it's not my fault. Vendor delay, so what can I do? So the project will remain blocked lah. For example, waiting passively for vendor application, documentation, sprint sleep. So for growth mindset, how do we unblock as a team? For example, in a way, be proactive, take initiative, take shared ownership, look for alternative that can make it faster. Communicate early. For example, team sets a joint session with vendor, draft temporary assumption before they come with the solutions. So work continues without major delay. Alright. So having a fixed mindset, in a way, macam cepat give up lah. In a way, fixed mindset. If I do not know how to do it, I do not know how to do it. You are not proactive enough to learn how to do it. That is in most simple term. So for example, I'm not good at conflict. Okay. For example, when requirement change, the person keeps quiet, because ini selalu berlaku dekat orang I dengan S. Because they do not want conflict. They try to avoid conflict, so they just keep quiet because they fear of saying the wrong thing. But what is the impact? Then it would further delay would happen lah. So they did not address it now. the problem will not go away. It will only come in later. This is the people who like to sweep under the carpet. Issues people like to sweep under the carpet because number satu, they do not want confrontation. They hate confrontation. They are afraid of confrontation. I mean, I wouldn't call it confrontation. I mean, you shouldn't call it confrontation actually, because confrontation means macam nak bergaduh. Something like but just say that this is more of discussion. Discussion, negotiation. I would call it negotiation. Because at the end of the day, you negotiate for any solutions. Because at the end of the day, we want a win-win solution. Alright. So a growth mindset, I can learn a conflict model and use and practice it. There are some structured model which I will come later. SBI, like DSC. There are some example where we can embrace conflict. How do we manage conflict? For example, I will share later how do you use the SBI. SBI is situation, behavior and impact. Pernah dengar? Later I will go through it. It's very simple. Alright. So this is fixed and growth mindset. Maknanya growth mindset, you are open to learn new skills lah in a way. To make it simple. Orang yang fix ni dia dah tak boleh buat apa. They just say that I don't know how to do it, I don't like to do it, and I don't want to do it. But for those who have growth mindset, I mean, this is a challenge that I would like to improve myself. Hopefully, I will gain a new skill after this. This is a person with a growth mindset. Okay. So as a leader, growth mindset is very important. Not just a leader, everyone need to have a growth mindset. But for a leader, it's much more important lagi lah, because you are leading people. Okay. Mindset drives behavior. Behavior repeatedly becomes team norm. Betul tak? Mindset ni it drives behavior. You have a fixed mindset, you will behave in such a way that you will not do anything lah. Because you say you are not good at it, you will just keep quiet, you just stop at that. It's like an internal belief. This is always people with fixed mindset. Not my problem, I'm not good at conflict. It's their problem, I do not want to get involved. These are fixed mindset. But a growth mindset, let's solve the problem together, for example. I can learn to do something new. Okay. I know there's a lot of people, I mean, during my time, even in Petronas, they are so afraid of doing presentation in public, or doing presentation in front of their colleagues or in front of a client. They always say that, hey, you do it lah, I'm not so good at it, So they already have a fixed mindset. But for those who have a growth mindset, they look at it as an opportunity, right? It's an opportunity for me to be better in public speaking, for example. So how do they do it? They practice, they learn from other people, they look at how their colleagues present, and after that they present and they learn a new skill. As I mentioned, dulu pun I'm so afraid of speaking in public, but I've overcome it by practice and also by exposure, because some of your work requires you to communicate with client and communicate with stakeholders. So you are forced to do it, and eventually you become good at it. So if you have a fixed mindset, if I have a fixed mindset, I will be here. I would have retired peacefully and just sleep at home and not do this. I do it because I love it. I'm so passionate about doing training. But all of this because I have a growth mindset. If I already a fixed mindset, I will be doing this. That's for sure. So that is an internal belief, and these are some of the behaviors of fixed mindset. Avoid responsibility, sweep under the carpet, hide mistakes. And our favorite pastime is blame other people. It's always not our fault. It's always other people's fault. So but a growth mindset, they take ownership. They ask questions on how we can do this better, and we do calibration. And that is some of the industry example lah. Don't start blaming. They say, ini vendor lambat, ini because client always change their requirement. Let's discuss together how we can minimize change order, for example. How we can ensure that all the requirement is being set early. Kadang-kadang, I normally see lah, user kadang-kadang they don't even know what they want. It's normal because I'm a user myself. I know sometimes I also tak sure apa nak. That's right. If you are proactive, you give example lah. You give proposal. This is where experience come in. From my previous client, this is what they wanted. Look at it. Do you think this is it? And maybe from this you can tambah-tambah, for example. Because for user to start from scratch, sometimes they also don't know. But suddenly they know when the system dah start. Ini tak ada lah. Masa tu the change requirement comes in. That sounds familiar, right?
Yep.
So this is where the change requirement comes in, and this is where they start blaming you all, you know. But at the end of the day, it takes two to tango, right? So if you have a growth mindset, then you will do this together. Even before go live, you already co-develop it with them. You're just not saying this is a client issue.
Yeah.
I mean, you should think about it lah. You know, I mean, if you are having a growth mindset, you do it together. Yeah, you give examples of my previous project. This is what the client do. You know, because I mean, sometimes I think, sometimes all the time, client will always they also blank lah what they want lah. Maybe they want ABC, sebenarnya they want DEF tu pun dia nak, but they are also not experienced enough.
Yeah.
They only knew all this hiccup when it goes live.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you have a growth mindset, you do it together.
Yep.
Yeah. Fixed mindset, just keep quiet. Wait. Yeah. Defensive, of course. You always be defensive, right?
Yeah.
Alright. So for growth mindset, open sharing, you escalate it early, and you learn from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then team culture also. Kalau fixed mindset ni low trust, silo, problem solving very slow. Yeah. And you shift from fixed to growth. Silo means buat sendiri-sendiri. Silo.
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane. I do not want to get involved in other people punya task.
Not my problem.
Not my problem. That is always silo lah. Because
I buat apa yang jadi
I buat kerja apa dalam position description je. Not in my PD, not my problem. Silo lah. Kan? So we cannot have that lah, because that is a fixed mindset. Yeah, I know lah we have PD, tapi jangan dah berkira sangat lah. Not in my PD, I don't want to do the job. Dekat Petronas marah betul kalau bos kata I know PD is a PD. It's just a guide. But they always ada dan lain-lain. Dan lain-lain. Whatever is required, there will always be a clause. Yeah, no. So because if not, people will always look at their PD. Not there lah. I don't want to do. But there is people with fixed mindset lah. If they have a growth mindset, dia tak boleh berkira lah. I mean, don't be too calculative lah. You know, because you must remember, if you do something that is beyond your job scope, it's also a learning thing. It's something you learn and you acquire new skills. Okay? And if a fixed mindset, what is the impact and performance? Of course, there will be more rework, there will be delay, misalignment, and all of this will come in. Yeah, with a growth mindset, you avoid all that. Yeah? Alright, and morale will also be higher. You stop blaming people, you know. You have that accountability punya ni lah. You feel that you own the project. Even though you feel that it's not my part, but what can you do to improve this? Yeah, yes, we fully aware this is not your responsibility, but maybe you can give inputs. You can give some of your experience, to share with your experience. Maybe this can help to solve a bit of the problem. This is where the growth mindset comes in. Yeah, because at the end of the day, remember, mindset would drive your behavior. Yeah, because if you have a fixed mindset, your behavior would always be negative. Will always be negative. Yeah, and because behavior repeated becomes a norm, and then the norm becomes culture. When it becomes culture, it's going to be very difficult. Yeah, I'm sure in ExxonMobil they have their cultural beliefs. In Petronas they have this PCB. We call it Petronas cultural beliefs. Yeah, I'm sure all big organisation will have this cultural beliefs. Ada kan? Mesti ada. Apa dia ingat tak? Tak ingat? Satu jadi. Dekat Petronas ada 4 atau 5. I also dah lupa. Yeah, one of them is speak up. It's a culture. And then customer oriented or something like that. Mana we must think, you know, on what is customer wants. Yeah, and speak up is one of those things. Yeah, ada 5. I forgot, but it's all interrelated lah. At the end of the day, they wanted you to become growth mindset lah. Cultural ability. At the end of the day, it goes back to growth mindset. Yeah, to avoid the fixed mindset, they introduce the Petronas cultural belief. Yeah, it means that it becomes a culture. When it becomes a culture, it becomes natural. So everyone would behave the same. Yeah, because we want to avoid this. Because mindset drives behavior, behavior becomes team norm, and norm becomes culture. If the culture is negative, then what will happen to that organisation? I mean, it won't grow. Yeah, because growth mindset, nama pun grow kan? Because we want people to grow. If not, you will remain stagnant. Yeah, so you must have that growth mindset. That is very important. Yeah, so that at the end of the day, whatever issues that you have, you will solve it proactively. Yeah. Of course, as a people in the IT, you cannot be reactive kan. Reactive boring lah kan. Bila ada problem baru nak masuk. I mean maybe the problem, you found the problem, so let's be proactive, try to avoid this to happen again in the future. Yeah, because sometimes you know lah, at the end of the day we are not perfect, right?
Yeah.
Ada ke pernah you all buat sistem yang tak ada isu? Mesti ada punya. Betul tak? Don't jangan tipu, tak pernah ada. Mesti ada punya. Confirm ada. But we learn from mistakes. We be proactive, try to maybe this is something that we will have issues in the future. Bila berlaku tu, let's try to do something so that it will recur again. For example. Yeah. So those are the growth mindset. Wah, tak tekan on. Kenapa dia kata bateri dah habis? Sorry. Yang ni, I tak tekan on. Sorry. I letak, I tekan on. No wonder. Sorry, I tekan projector. Sorry. Dia akan start balik.
Sendiri kot.
Suddenly I saw it, I thought I dah letak charger. Then dia kata battery low. Oh god.
It's no happen normally.
Cultural belief apa dekat Perumal lagi kan?
Tapi just sharing bagus. So my team, when I lead this team, so we've been responsible to handle client expectation. But client expectation is from their side is A to Z to us. Even though we've been hired with different skill set.
Yeah.
For example, particular skill set. For example, developer. Only do development. Not talking to the customer. We have separate.
You have separate roles for that lah.
But from their side, they don't care whose role in our team.
Okay.
That's why I give you A to Z. You handle it. Even talking to the customer, architecting stuff, benchmarking the process, even the culture part also need to self-manage.
Okay. You don't have in a way macam what are the roles and responsibilities between client, because normally when you have a project, there will always be that roles and responsibility of client, roles and responsibility of project manager, responsibility of developer.
Yeah.
You should have, right?
I mean, technically we do. Omar has a valid point in the sense that client tends to push a little bit beyond what they expect.
It's quite normal lah kan. The client is always like that kan.
But in my opinion, when you mentioned about growth mindset, right?
Yeah.
That was kind of the challenge that Omar faced, and now I'm facing about certain team members trying to adapt to having that growth mindset. I understand. Like when we were mentioning about some people point to the contract, like, it doesn't say there, I'm not gonna do it.
I understand. I fully understand.
Right.
Yeah.
So then it's more like you trying to show what's the upside towards having a growth mindset, trying to see like, hey, if you stop looking at by the books, this is just right?
You just follow the book. This is where the fixed mindset comes in.
Yeah.
Just follow buku kan, ikut ni je kan.
Yeah.
I know lah. It's a bit tiring. I know. I fully understand. It is tiring. I mean, I do not deny that.
Yes.
But just remember one thing. This is where the growth mindset comes in. This is where the learning comes in. Yes, this is where these are all new skills. Maybe you say that macam you buat ni. I mean, by right, I shouldn't be communicating with the client because it's just focus. Yeah, but you know lah, client kadang-kadang they don't care. Dia mana yang dia dapat dulu, dia tarik, dia cakap dulu, right? Sebenarnya by right they should speak to you, right? In a way lah, because they want customer facing. But sometimes client they don't care because you're part of the team. They just say I already spoken to him. Why should I speak to you pula again to repeat? By right you should be cakap lah, you cascade lah dekat dia, so that, and you also cannot just stay on your own and say this is not my issue, But as far as the client, they have already spoken to your team. They don't care who, client they don't care. When they speak to team A, team member,
anyone from team A,
it doesn't matter. You cannot say sorry, you did not speak to me, I cannot do this. You cannot do that, right? You cannot do that,
no.
Right? I don't think you can do that.
No.
Tukar team lah nanti kan.
If I did that,
die kan. So I mean, you have to manage it within your team lah kan.
Of course.
At the end of the day, whatever issues within your team stays in your team.
Yes.
The client do not want to know all the politics inside your team. Do not know what the conflict that you have inside your team. I mean, it's normal. You will have conflict. It's okay because we are human. This is how we address it. This is how what is important here, right? How we address it, how we manage it, and we go as a team and speak to the client, because you need to be together. Because at the end of the day, just one message will come up from this thing. Cannot be 3 messages. Cannot be 4. You don't get the client will be confused. I thought Ahmad say like this and you say like this. So which one is correct?
Exactly.
So you need to discuss before you go to the client. This is our statement. And you stick to it. Even though you might not agree, everyone here, but at the end of the day, this is the best way forward. And use that. Okay? Sekejap, kenapa tak masuk? Buka balik. Tak keluar. I need to duplicate slide. Any questions so far? Okay, quite clear lah. It's got the ayat there. Slideshow from current slide. Okay, so we are here just now. So, okay, alright, let's go to the next one. This is where we use this technique from fixed to growth. We call it reframing. It's called reframing technique. Number 1, step 1, you identify limiting belief. This is the fixed mindset is a limiting belief lah. We use it interchangeably. Contoh, a very simple word, I cannot speak confidently in meetings, or I cannot present confidently in meetings, for example. Then you challenge it with facts. Don't tell me you tak boleh langsung bercakap, for example. And then you recall, actually last week I think I managed to speak confidently. But for some people, they always have that limiting belief. I'm not a people person, for example. I let the talking be done by you. But I'm sure Faizal can also talk. Come on, man. Takkan dah tak boleh cakap langsung. Even though I know that he's just developing, he's just doing this thing. But I'm sure, if you ask him to talk, to speak, he can do it. He cannot have that limiting belief that I'm not confident, I cannot speak. So challenge it with facts. Who says that you cannot speak well? Then you personally can challenge. I tengok you last week, boleh je cakap, elok je, you present to me, okay je, you challenge him with the facts. And then you replace it with empowering behavior. Empowering behavior means that what can you do to ensure that you are able to speak properly or to speak confidently. Preparation lah. At the end of the day, is preparation. You cannot speak confidently because you are not prepared. The best public speaker in the world will not be able to speak if they do not prepare. Apalah lagi orang yang biasa-biasa. So you need to prepare. You prepare key points, practice, and best is to always practice in a non-threatening environment. Speak with your friends. I know lah, speaking when the bosses are, it's a different
mood.
A different environment, right? But before that, you practice with your friends, where people don't judge. You don't just go straight to the presentation without preparing or without rehearsing, or without practicing, because this is where practice makes, I wouldn't say perfect, I would say practice makes progress. I prefer practice make progress because perfection, I don't think we can achieve it, but we can progress towards perfection. Okay. Alright, so these are the reframing techniques. Any limiting belief? Step 1, what is the limiting belief? Faizal ada limiting belief tak? Do you have any limiting belief yang you can say, it's okay, come. I'm sure I have my limiting belief. I do. Everyone have. Nobody here is good in everything. Apa yang you rasa you macam alamak, I tak confident buat benda ni? What is it? It's okay. Just share. This is among friends. Ada tak? Because maybe we can do this together.
Don't worry,
how we
won't notice that.
Don't worry.
Don't worry.
Jangan risau. And both of you don't
No.
everyone have their.
We are here as buddies. We're not here as Scrum Master or Dev or whatever.
In here, all the work title we put it outside. In this room, there's no. Ada tak? Anyway, it's okay. The two of you pun tak apa. Kalau dia tengah fikir, any one of you just want to share an example. What is something that you said that you always have this limiting belief, I'm not good in this, I'm not good in that, and maybe something that you had before but you have overcome it. That is even better because then you already see this step 1, step 2, step 3.
That's true.
Meeting bilik tak pandai cakap Melayu.
Yeah, actually.
Maybe there was one before that.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Maybe I don't know. Is that one of your limiting belief at
It
that
was.
time?
It still is kind of.
It still is. I thought you have overcome it, but slowly you overcome it. How do you do it?
I mean, it sounds really mean, but
Yeah.
so step one,
Right.
identifying the limiting belief was like, okay, my Malay is, even if it's good, it's still bahasa baku, you know. Like,
Still bahasa baku.
right, because I don't have the accent, I don't have the
Yeah.
slang.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you
So
say
that
that,
was
if you
step
speak
one.
BM also you will speak like macam
Singaporean.
Straight out of a textbook.
straight out of the textbook way.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
so
so
you have that
you would-
limiting belief.
So you wouldn't know the the jargon or any of the colloquialism
The
or anything,
colloquialism.
right? But step two was more like, ironically, it was two things. Step two, one, meeting my wife, and she was like, "Yeah, it's not that bad. It's alright."
You're not bad. You can speak.
Yeah, and two, it was looking at my family friends in the Exxon circle or the Petronas Michelle circle, and they're a lot worse. So,
You're much better than them.
not too bad. Okay.
Not too bad lah. Not too bad lah. Boleh lah.
Step three is that I make an effort to present both sides. You know, like one thing that the feedback that I always get is that I have like two different personalities when I switch between English as well as Malay. Yeah. So when I'm speaking in English, I sound like an everyday American. You know. Which is true, and I sound very Exxonized because I was raised in Exxon basically. So, but at the same time, when I switch to Malay, then I know that I'm a lot more relaxed. More relaxed, but I'm only relaxed. I can't really be professional with Malay words. I can be relaxed, I can be angry, but I cannot be professional in my Malay speaking.
Dia pelik bunyi dia pelik if you speak in Malay.
Yeah. I can't do it formally, but I also can't do it too casually at the same time, right?
So when you want to be serious, you have to use English.
Yes.
That's what you're trying to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
When I'm serious and I have to be firm, I'm a lot more expressive when I'm speaking English because So.
Okay.
So that was my step three, and my empowering behavior is that I preserve my English by talking to my kids who are more inclined towards English,
Okay.
and I preserve my Malay by speaking with my in-laws and my wife, more in Malay.
In example, is it more English or Malay?
In a working setting, it's English.
Because you're facing client overseas, right? That's why.
Not necessarily, because Exxon Malaysia has a pretty strong ties to Houston, to the HQ.
Okay, so that's why it's all in English.
Yeah, so even though our leadership are all Malaysians, but majority of them have been there a long time. You know, so they've been on expat assignments, like my mom, right? So, yeah. So, but in within the team, if it's just us,
boleh lah campur-campur.
boleh dia.
Oh, okay, boleh je lah. Kau tak si orang putih dengan dia pening ke kawan?
Boleh je.
Boleh je, terror je.
Different English.
Yelah, cuma accent lain lah, Malaysian English lah. As long as we understand.
Yeah, it only gets a little bit harder when I'm angry in English. So when I'm angry,
Dia grammar tu lebih.
Oh, grammar dia different.
grammar tu lain, and then I punya
Can be negotiate lah,
the way
boleh.
that I nak kalau I betul-betul bengal dengan seorang in English, I will make it especially painful for you to hear.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
So you know lah, when he started to speak English, dia dah marah. In a way, dia dah tahu dia dah nak.
If it's an angry tone, yes.
Angry to.
Yes.
Anyone? Macam you ada siapa yang share fixed mindset ni?
Ada kot sebab dulu lah tapi long time ago.
Yelah, tak apa.
10 years ago.
Even better bila benda tu dah overcome lah, so that kita boleh nampak step by step
slowly
exactly.
overcome lah. I mean, I believe at the time 10 years ago, I believe that I don't have capability to manage people or being a team leader. I'm more like a sole contributor or specialized in staff technical way. But since 8 years ago, I'm slowly being appointed as a business partner, technical CTO, something like that with my partners, with past partner. And then I slowly get a team of 1 or 2 and then become 17. And then,
Games bigger kan?
but I stay at the time, I stay at step 1. Step 2 comes in when my partner says, "Oh, you confident to have a team? Looks, you have a result here, and you manage to secure commitment with your team and with the stakeholder as well to trust your team to WD and to manage to grow your team as well from being a developer to senior to QE."
So sometimes you need other people to tell you.
No, to verify.
Actually, you can do it lah. Dia kata, you can do it.
But for
actually.
me, you can appoint me as CTO. I tell for example last time. But I can only be a what you call a solo technical best technical people in your team.
Yeah.
But not managing team. At that time.
At that
Then
time
because
lah,
slowly number 2, you get result, and then number 3, I slowly learn a lot of leadership trait.
Yeah.
Instead of you are being the best in the team, you need to make sure your team is better than you.
Exactly.
Something like that. So slowly that's a step 1. But if your team is better, regardless you are not really growth, then it's fine. You already have a leadership.
Yeah, that's the trait of a leader.
Yeah.
Leader doesn't mean that he knows everything.
Yes,
that
of
one.
course.
That's why you have a team. If you know everything better than them, tak payah ada team lah. You kena seorang. That's why you have team, because you have people from different background. People with different expertise. But you nurture them. You give them the capacity to grow. And you manage the team. At the end of the day.
Because sometimes the mindset is slowly grow because you have a habit. If you see something, you can finish it within 1 day, rather than give it to your team in days.
Yeah, I know.
And then you can
rather do it yourself, right?
Do it yourself. But if I keep doing that, I will keep in step 1 and then I don't be verified with step 2 lah.
Yeah. Then you would never grow from that. You are still fixed mindset lah.
Yeah,
You will never go to the growth mindset.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you're not trusting your team.
Yes.
Yeah. And also you're not developing your team, because at the end of the day, if they would not have the same skill as you have, because you keep doing it yourself. That's why you delegate, but at the end of the day, you still need to monitor lah. Kan? It's not tai chi and don't care about it, right? As a leader, you still need to. You are still accountable to the results, So
unless client says you gotta do it.
That's different. I know it happens because some clients they say they just want you to do it, then what to do? But majority, most of it, you have to have a team lah.
Yes.
Yeah, but remember, adaptability is also important.
Yes.
This is where you need to be adaptable. Cannot.
Yeah.
There's another fixed and growth mindset. When you're not adaptable, you're fixed mindset. You're not adaptable. Maknanya you kata, no, tak boleh. I cannot do this. I have a team. I'm a leader. I'm not going to do this. Tak boleh juga. So you need to be adaptable. But remember, first thing first, you are a leader. You have a team. Utilize your team's resources. Because at the end of the day, if you are the one who's doing the job, then you're not being fair to your people under you.
That's right.
Okay, thanks for sharing. Faizal, ada anything that you want to share? Something that you have grown over the years, from having a limited belief, but now you have overcome it. Anything?
I think calmness lah.
Calmness.
Dulu bukan 8 dulu.
Dulu bukan 8. Dulu rendah lagi.
I get triggered easily.
Dulu kuat melompat lah. I mean, you cannot ada something negative sikit, you perang lah. So how do you overcome it? I mean, how do you grow from it? How do you challenge it? I mean, how do you manage to transform into someone who can be calmer?
I ada macam jenda diri sendiri. Macam dulu I ada macam baca buku. Ada Muslim kan kita ada macam zikir and so on. Like saya mencarut ke apa, I akan dia macam zikir 50 kali.
Okay.
And then also I just like, if got mad ke apa, just diam
dulu
buat anything, and then dah jadi habit. I just be calm. Because
that is called EQ lah. Emotional. You manage your emotions is a EQ skills lah. Because you cannot control other people, but you can control yourself. So it's emotional, jaga sendiri lah. So you have overcome it lah. So and you thought that initially that you would not be able to keep yourself calm lah, but you able to overcome it over the years lah. So this is one of the reframing techniques that we are talking about, reframing techniques in a way lah. Because a lot of people have limiting beliefs, but how do you overcome it? There's an example lah, Sheila. I mean, normal in Malaysia, limiting belief is selalu I cannot present in public. A lot of people have that issue, even in Petronas. They try to avoid. They always say, kau lah. Biasa kan? In a session, they always say, you lah present, you lah semua. Kalau boleh, dia tak nak. Biasa kan? Because they always feel that they are not good enough, they are not confident enough. There is a limiting belief. This is where I have that issue, I tak berani lah, you know. I mean, you present lah, but you need to challenge that, yeah, because if you still having that issue, you will never improve. Yeah, so that is a limiting belief lah. There is an example, I cannot speak confidently in meetings, you know, or I cannot present persuasively in a session.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you must challenge effects. There must be a time that you actually can do it. Even sometimes challenging effect is from your friend pun sometimes. Dia kata, aku rasa actually you can do it lah, you know.
Yeah.
I thought that last week I saw you that you can really speak confidently in front of a client. Yeah, this for example, you handle customers call, okay. Your explanations are very clear, you know. And then over the years, you know that actually I can do it, you know. So you transform yourself, you know. So how do you do it? Preparation. At the end of the day, is preparation. Yeah. So make yourself confident. Change from limiting belief ni to something better. A lot of people suffer from this limiting belief.
So
I don't know about you, Sheila. Do you have it?
You want to give? I give the example. Okay.
This example. Do you have any? And before, I mean something that you have overcome.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I want to see step 1, step 2, and step 3.
Some strike in my mind now is like how to pro in Excel lah. Okay.
Oh,
Because I'm
yes.
a motor HR, right? So in all of my job, when I do technical part is fine, but I think in one of the job I joined as a sales support specialist, something like that, as sales admin support specialist. So every day dealing with Excel, so it's like a headache for me.
Yeah.
So,
Kan, phobia kan?
Phobia.
Nampak Excel dia orang panik lah.
Back in university, Excel is just like normal. We mostly PowerPoint and Word. Presentation is just normal for us. So
bila
like,
masuk Excel dah
Excel
pening kan?
like oh my god, how to do it? So
How do
to
I do it?
simplify it, to pivot and all, like it's total headache. So every time kena marah because think that you are degree holder and you don't know how to
You don't know how to
use
use it.
Excel. So I find it like Excel is very important in the job, like especially when I was in business analyst also. So like Excel is like a very important thing. So that point in time you already graduate. So where you want to learn? So you're already on the job.
You're already on the job.
And they depend on you to do it, right? So what to do? I go YouTube.
No, it's very easy. Everything is there, you know.
Yeah.
And then my first that time no ChatGPT.
Masa tu tak ada lah.
So YouTube, I learned pivot from YouTube, and then the basic one lah. And then I started do from YouTube. I started do my Excel. YouTube Excel. So after that, learn from there, and then slowly I develop, and then after that, I learn how to do formula like
like
formula.
yang ada what if semua tu kan, if lah, if lah.
YouTube has everything. It's just that you need to learn. While you learn, you need to open your Excel and then you try yourself or something like that.
It's all trial and error at the end of the day kan.
So it's a good thing that time I learned that. So now in this job, sometime when I deal with finance team now, their data is full of formulas. I have to do weekly and monthly reports to them. So that has they already done the file. So I just need to input numbers. Sometimes I need to change it also. So sometimes they will ask, oh, you know how to do it. So I will sometimes like, okay, no, I don't know. You learn teach me.
Tak nak ngaku lah. Saya dah terror.
If I say I know, I'll gone. I don't know that advance, but it's good that I learned that time. So I did improve. Because you identify limiting belief. I mean, it's a choice, right? You can continue not to do it. You can. You have a choice. I hate it when my
you have a choice.
Scold me.
So you know that you want to improve, you know, because at the end of the day you cannot be efficient without having that Excel skills. You know, so you challenge it. You must say that I can do this, you know. I always have that thought that if somebody else can do it, why not me, you know. You challenge yourself.
That's true.
It's not rocket science. You always say that it's not rocket science, you know. If other people can do it, what's wrong with me? I'm sure I can do it. I used to have issues with last time I don't like to use PowerPoints. You know, PowerPoint. I'm better in Excel maybe because from my accounting background. So PowerPoint tu tak berapa pakai. You know, so I stress tu bila kena buat PowerPoint ni kan. But you know, I have to learn eventually. It's not that difficult lah kan. It's not that difficult. And now with all those YouTube Now lagi lah dengan ChatGPT I tak sure je I type je lah how to
AI.
maknanya pakai AI lah semua ni. These are the things that I have to learn, you know. AI ni I only start to use bila dah pension. Before that I tak pakai because dulu ada orang boleh tolong buat lah. Now when you are on your own you have to do it everything myself. Freelance I have to do it myself. I have to learn a lot of things, you know. So I didn't know during my AI ni 2000 berapa dah start?
2022.
22.
2020 dah tahap.
Because I still remember when I was working kan. Sometimes I tengok my staff buat memo kan. Terror dia buat. Now I know still because I'm still using my old ways. I buat my own type sendiri. I think the young ones are they already. I kata actually you can do really good memo. Now I know ini mesti AI. Because now you just type what you want everything goes in, you know. So you this way is also adapting, right? I have to adapt, you know. And of course for someone my age is a bit slower lah compared to the younger ones, but I mean I have to, you know. If I don't use AI, how can I? Because I'm a one-man show. I don't have somebody to rely on. I have to do my own presentation slide. You know, I have to do everything on my own. If I don't utilize the whatever tools that is available in the market, I'll be left behind.
So
I won't survive. You know. Because alhamdulillah that we have everything now. You know. So I challenge my limiting belief that actually we can do it. So this is one of the way. Sheila, we call it a reframing. Maknanya frame lama kita tukar frame baru lah kan, in a way. Frame lama ni kita buang lah, dah lusuh, out of date. Now we use the latest frame. Replace it with an empowering behavior. Replace it with something positive. This is where you challenge from fixed to growth mindset. Okay, some examples. Limiting thought, I'm not good at speaking. Challenge with effects. Actually, I can share ideas clearly in small groups. It's just that in public, you panic state. Sebenarnya you have the idea, so how do you do it? You know, practice, prepare, you know. So these are some of the reframe action and some positive behavior.
Second one tu lah, always related.
Mistake, normal. Nobody here can say I never make mistakes. But if you have a positive mindset, if you have a growth mindset, you will learn from mistakes. You can better.
Second number lah. Sometimes our team need help to understand the second one. Sometimes they only see they make more mistake than but they didn't see how many they've been completed.
This is where betul. Yalah, because you must remember. I mean, I don't know. Is it yang apa bab lampu tu siapa yang record? I always use dia kata berapa ribu kali salah, 1000 something like that. Eventually he got it right. You see, even a brilliant person will always have it wrong. Sometimes kadang-kadang bukan first time, second time, kadang-kadang banyak. It's just we learn from it. But of course lah, dalam IT pun I'm sure ada juga some trial and error. I'm sure. Because you need to test. There will be errors lah. Come on lah. I mean, at the end of the day we are not, kita bukan Tuhan. I mean, at the end of the day we are only human.
By definition.
By definition, people make mistakes. So don't be afraid of making mistakes, because people who are afraid of making mistakes, they are also fixed mindset. Because they will never try something new. If Sheila is so afraid of making mistakes, he will not learn excel at all. Because if I don't do it, I will make mistake. Betul lah. Because it's okay lah. I don't want to know, or I outsource it to other people. And he can do it. But no, I want to learn. So she will make mistake along the way, definitely. Definitely Sheila. Surely you will make some mistakes along the way, but you already completed so many tasks with those mistakes. So you will treat the mistake as a learning points, as a learning area. So this positive behavior. Some people are not good at handling conflict. Biasalah, siapa suka kan? So how do we do it? I'm sure you have resolved something before. And what are the formula that you do? Because it's always good to listen first before responding. A lot of conflicts is because both people will like to speak at the same time. Both people will speak at the same time. Nobody is listening. When nobody is listening, nobody understands their point of view. You need to understand where they're coming from. You need to understand their point of view. So, and this is where at the end of the day you cannot have a win-win. You cannot have a win-lose situation. Betul tak? Not all the time you must win and the other party must lose. Why should the other party want to lose? They also want something, you also want something. Yeah, so it becomes a win-win lah. Alright. I think the number 4 also quite prevalent. Never deal with senior management lah. Dah takut kan, panic.
I did 10 days daily learning.
Yeah.
I did that.
Ya ke? Daily learning, betul.
I know, I learn.
You have to learn. And then when you deal with senior management, you focus on facts. Yeah? Focus on facts, not fear. Because at the end of the day, you are presenting facts, not assumptions. That is where the type C is very important. You see macam kawan kita si Hazan ni, the bullet is always ready before he deals with the client. You must be ready with all your justifications. Bukan omong kosong. You're not just talking without any facts. You have facts. You present to them. But at the end of the day, they still do not want to listen. At least you've done your job.
You've done your part.
What else can you do? And don't give up, because just say it's not that you have prepared. You have done your part. But at the end of the day, they always say the client is always right. Selalu macam tu Customer is always right. They want what they want. Whatever you say, they still don't want. What can you do? You have presented everything, because you also do not know where they're coming from. They might have something at their back which you do not know. There could be some. It's already a direction from the top. You never know. And he's not confident enough to, to say it back. Even though you have given him, you should. I mean, you said, I can share you all the bullets. You can speak to them. So he's still not confident enough. What can you do? But ada tak pernah berlaku yang kalau dia tak confident, dia bawa you all sekali tu? Because in Fedora sometimes dia takut tau. Dia macam, because the expert is you, it's not them. So they need someone that really expert to be together in the meeting. We have that in Fedora. I mean, it's not wrong, because they wanted to hear it from the horse's mouth. They do not want to hear it from, because dia kata, you mana tahu benda technical ni, bring your team. Bring. Ada tak?
Ada.
Mesti ada. Ada kan? Dia bawa satu askar masuk kan, nak jumpa the biggest boss. Betul tak? Sebab dia dia tak confident. Because dia, I'm not very, bukan takut. Bila tanya benda lain dah tak tahu. But it's fine. It's good, because at least he hears you lah. Cuma dia tak confident. At least dia ada growth mindset. He's willing to see back. Ada setengah tu takut nak jumpa balik. That's it. Dia akan kata lah, kau buat, dia pun cakap. Which we do not want that lah. It's better if you're not confident, it's okay, and you all proactively say, boss, if you me, I will go there. This is where your growth mindset comes in. You can always have a fixed mindset. That's not my job. You can do that also. Because I'm just I mean, you are the one reporting to him. But you have a growth mindset. You want the issues to be resolved. I mean, it's to your own benefit as well.
It is.
Right? So you must think it that way. This is where you go beyond your job scope. You have a growth mindset. Okay? It's very important.
Omar, do you remember?
Familiar?
Ada isu juga.
Mesti ada punya, biasa lah. These are all very familiar. These are all real life situations. That's normal.
You are right that sometimes you have to look at it as like, hey, I'm growing because of this. I'm learning from this.
You are learning from this because you have the exposure to meet the highest level. That's an exposure for you. Not everyone have that opportunity.
There's plenty of times that's happened.
Plenty of time that happened.
At first it's a learning experience. But as it very quickly become burnout.
Lala dah jadi satu norm. You are expected to. You are expected to do that.
So that is kind of benefit.
These are the things lah. But at the end of the day, that's life lah. That's life lah kan. That's life. But in your resume, dahsyat lah cakap you have presented. And this is where you becoming more, orang kata tu become marketable, more marketable, because you have all this exposure. Not everyone have that, man. Everyone, most of the team would do the job based on their job description, but when you are doing way above, this is where you grow. Okay, alright. These are, I think it's quite straightforward. These are some of the different techniques. You will get this. Don't worry, you will get this in the slides. Okay, let's do this. Just before lunch, let's do a case study.
Let's do it.
Okay, then case study. So because this case study would definitely enhance our learning of module 1 and module 2. So do it in in a team lah. I mean it's only one team here. So selalu I buat ramai kan. Bila ramai I pecah-pecah dalam group kan. I have to admit this is the paling sikit I pernah buat lah. Ini yang paling sikit I pernah buat. Ini yang last punya. Dia macam ada banyak-banyak cerita-cerita case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4 ada tak? Dia case study 1 sampai 4. Yang kita buat ni case study 1. Tak apa, print dulu tak apa. Yang ni yang paling sikit. Confirm. Paling sikit. Sebab normally program I buat selalunya paling sikit 15, 16.
Okay.
Yang ini dah jadi macam private tuition ni. Ini dah private tuition, which is good lah. Because if I give you very, orang kata tu, attention tu lebih fokus. Selalunya kalau paling ramai yang pernah buat 30 lebih.
Wow.
Ramai sangat lah pula.
Pelan.
Tak kejar bang. Sebab 30 lebih tu dia kalau buat case study ada 6 group kan. Sebab 5 orang satu group, 6, so dia buat ni, lepas tu dia present. Dan yang lain dengar, yang lain present, you know.
Group 5 orang pun ramai juga.
Itu pun kira ramai lah. Tapi you all ni lagi dahsyat. Memang ini je lah. Ini yang paling sikit lah. Ini private tuition lah ni. Ini private tuition.
We were in the class of 30, kita sendiri tak cukup for one team pun.
Kau sendiri pun tak cukup kan. Kau kelas campur dengan that lady 4 lah kan.
4
Sikit sangat orang tu. Tak lagi ke?
It's like and then the more
Betul.
Sekejap.
Kejap.
Boleh WhatsApp lah.
Boleh. Ya, tak apa. Sebab kita sikit je. Print sekejap. Itu bagusnya yang group sikit.
Betul.
Cakap dekat dia orang. This is the group yang paling sikit aku nak.
Memang.
Selalunya kan
30.
I punya
Video yang
30 semua group besar-besar. Ini I panggil private tuition.
Ini private lah ya.
Ini private.